Hi, good morning, everybody. This is Mary Ellen coming to you from Moonrise Cottage for today's, oh my guides are saying love vibration uh, card reading. So I just picked up one of the decks, and this is what fell out. So it's interesting. I'm doing an experiment this morning. My guides have asked me to do what I did yesterday, which is to just shuffle the cards, and they're wanting to bring in uh, a certain type of shamanic vibration into the reading. So you'll hear some music in the background for a moment while I shuffle, and then you're going to hear the sounds of the crows that came to Moonrise Cottage while I had my own shamanic journey. So I'm not entirely certain of the purpose of that, um, but I'm going to shuffle the cards. I'll pull all the cards out, and then eventually the sounds in the background will end, and we'll jump in and do the reading. And my guides are saying thank you. Okay, here we go. Here's one more. They want this one. Interesting. trying to find a place on my table to put these cards. I guess we'll have to double them up a little bit. You guys want me to light the incense again. So for any of you that are new, welcome. I have been on my own very long, kinds are saying my shamanic journey. Just sort of meaning the travel that I've done through my life and the way it has affected me, the way it has caused me to develop. And we are in moments, of course, let me turn that down. We are, of course, in moments of extreme development at this point. I'm sorry, guys, I put this on autoplay. So, there, that's done. All right, so my guides are really wanting to have a specific visitation, they're saying, with you today. I woke up, as I often do, in the middle of the night, and I could hear a sound. And my guides are saying it was the pulsation of the universe. So I don't know about you folks, but I'm not sleeping well since this eclipse journey came on. My guides are just saying we just want everyone to know you're tired. You can still hear it in my voice. I'm really exhausted, and very grateful because whatever is happening here is quite beautiful. We're reaching into our destiny, is what my guides are talking about, and they just want to. They're saying things like, we just want to get serious with you about this journey and to help you believe the things that it's hard to be sure of when you are an earth creature. So let's just jump into it in the traditional way. All right, so the first card out is a quest. This is the theme of my readings. That's the quest of knowledge. It's the Ten of Pentacles. So it is about coming into a place of extreme abundance. And we're talking about spiritual wisdom. My guides are saying, we talked about this yesterday. So if you haven't seen yesterday's reading, go look. And there's something I forgot to say yesterday, and I'll pull that out as we go along. So this is what we're all doing. We're on this quest, a sacred quest. And my guides are saying, it's time to allow yourself to actually feel it and acknowledge it inside of you. It doesn't matter how long it takes you. It doesn't matter what your road is. My guides are saying, on some level, I know that you all know this. It's really important to pay attention to the quest and put it in a central position in your life. We're talking about Akashic records and those notions, my guides are saying. All the unknowable things, the imponderable things that are actually true in these quiet moments as we come towards the full moon. These are the things that are coming still through the portal, being revealed to us. And look, very interesting. Just, while I'm talking, whatever I'm talking about, take a look at how the cards are aligned, would you please? Always, when you come to pick up one of your messages here, my guides are saying. Oh, I'm so tired. So I went to bed last night, stayed up late, sat out and looked at the moon. Beautiful, beautiful clear sky here. There were shooting stars dropping. It was really wonderful. And I think it was 3 o'clock in the morning when I finally went to sleep. And then somewhere in my sleep time, I began to hear this sound. It's very low on the vibrational frequency. And my guides are saying it's the pulsation of the universe, the pulsation of what is coming through to us in these days here, the energy that's available to us as we're on this quest. So I woke up with it still going in my head early this morning and did a little meditation, and these are the instructions I got. So that's a squirrel from the animal medicine cards. The purpose of the quest is the squirrel medicine. So I'm just going to read to you from the book, but it has to do with those things that are stored up within us, if I remember correctly. And forgive me, gang, because Mercury's in retrograde. I'm exhausted. I'm probably going to misstate things. So just be patient and gentle. My guys are saying, be gentle. All right, so squirrel medicine teaches you to plan ahead for the winter. Squirrel medicine can come in many forms because this little creature is extremely diverse in the natural world. The erratic behavior of squirrel has bested many a forlorn hunter, and thus it stands to reason that there are many benefits to being able to circle a branch at lightning speed. If you are able to gather the power of squirrel medicine, it is a great gift. It teaches you how to gather and store your energy for times of need. It teaches you to reserve something for future use, whether it is a judgment, an opinion, things like savings accounts, candles, extra food, etc. To put it in a nutshell, squirrel is the Boy Scout of the animal kingdom, always prepared. In today's world of changing times and fortunes, it is the wise person who prepares for the future. Our prophecies have all spoken of the end of the millennium and the change that is to come. Squirrel is a friendly medicine to have in light of the possibility of our future days. Its message is to be prepared. Love yourself enough to gather the goods and the things that you will need to meet your needs in times of scarcity. If squirrel is scurried into your cards today, it may be that you are being told to honor your future by readying yourself for the change that is coming. This message could be an assistance to lighten your load. Squirrel has another lesson which can aid you if you observe what is obvious in the world around you. This observation can prepare you for almost anything. It has to do with the safe place in which to put your gatherings. This safe place is an untroubled heart and an untroubled mind, a clear mind. And that which is gathered and put into this place is wisdom and caring. The energies that you gather now will set your mind and your heart free so that you will know that all will be taken care of in its own time. Apply this message to your fears about the future and allow them to vanish. So clearly it's a message about trust. One of the things that came through to me this morning, more and more my guides are talking about our future, our collective future. Our destiny's coming forward. Yesterday they were talking about the eclipse season in 2020, the prophecy that's coming forward about 2020. We're sailing into some challenging times. And the beauty of these moments is that we are literally gathering. These are the moments when we're meant to gather what is going to help us and to put ourselves into a complete space of trust and faith. So part of what my guides are saying is don't get into a panic. Keep your energy on your vision, on what it is we are as soul spirits attempting to create and attempting to bring each other to this place where suddenly we have this vision and then we see the angels and we see the guides and I don't know if you can tell, his mouth is open. He's literally speaking with them. You know, he's having a moment of awe for sure, but he's literally speaking with the angels. So my guides are saying that's the quest that we're on, but it's also the direction that we're going in. So in these days, be a squirrel. Gather your skill set to yourself. Put your skills in a safe place, meaning clear your mind, clear your fears, give them over to the knowledge of what you are actually doing. And I just, this is so profound to me. Look at this line, it's astounding. So, uh, create your stores for winter. I think this winter, well, here in the northern hemisphere, in southern hemisphere, it will be spring, and I'm actually percolating a fantasy that I'll be there. We'll see what happens. Um, bring your stores together, clear your heart, clear your mind, forgive yourself. It's time to put those things aside and to pull yourself into this that is actually happening according to my guides. So that's what the magic is all about. There's the beautiful magician, beautiful male energy unfolding. Do you see this? How the male energy travels and then goes through its transformation. So, always in my readings, I may not say it, but those things are meant to be understood, okay? So, while we do this journey, particularly here in the season of this eclipse, this summer eclipse, this is what we're doing. Collectively, what we're meant to be doing, or one of the tasks. So, gather yourself, gather your tools, store them in a safe place in your heart and in your mind, in the place where you have no doubt, where mystical things come to you and you can hear the sound of the universe. You can hear the sound of your own heartbeat and feel the vibration of the turning. My guides are calling it the great turning of a human destiny in these moments. And as I do, my guides are saying, allow yourself to use sound vibration. It's very healing. So find some music on the internet, put it on a loop, whatever you need to do. Yesterday, the music that was playing was Breathing Underwater from Anushka Shankar. It's just, the woman is a literal goddess walking the earth. She's so, her music is, in my opinion, far more vibrationally pure than her dad's ever was. And he was a great, great man. So, back to the decider. The magician and the soul tarot deck. Yes, it's sacred male energy, but it is about our will. That's where the magic comes from. Pardon me. So the decider of will, first of the major arcana, leading off the section of my reading that has to do with the human walk. So these are moments of clear intention, coming from our heart chakras, coming from the will center, using the beautiful, mysterious power of the sacred male energy, who has an intention, a sacred intention, just like that sacred intention. Beautiful. In order to find a pathway forward, this is the King of Cups. So, again, it is this beautiful water energy that we all are bathed in. Even while we go through this full moon, eclipse is coming, know that we're standing. Stand with the waters, my guides are saying, the sacred waters. Know that you have the ability to go across, that you have the ability to hold your power in your hand now. Find your path forward. Connect with your own spirit guides. Whatever way you express your spirituality, my guides are saying it's not just about being able to see and have sacred vision. In these days, particularly, and going forward, we're going to be blessed to carry all this energy forward for 6 months. So these are the intense moments when things are coming into us and things are being remembered about what's inside of you. That which is stored up inside of you when you came through, it's being elucidated now. So that's the other side of this message my guides are now talking about. The dark side of the moon, things like that. So all the things already said, and you have things stored within you, you know. And most of us are doing our best to access them, whatever they are. It is appropriate that for some of us, we don't know. It will evolve over time. when the moment comes that you are meant to go into that which is stored within you in order to stand in this place of sacred knowledge and have this experience. All right, so my guides are really chattering about that. Yesterday's message was 40 minutes long, which I didn't intend, so I'm going to keep going. So this is part of what's stored within us. That's what my guides are talking about. Allow yourself in these mystical days to travel deeply into your own heart chakra and allow the activation that's been stored up within you, the intention that you had when you incarnated with whoever you travel with. And I know that these are very turbulent days. I've had some turbulent things unfold in my life that I didn't anticipate at all, but it happened. And it was the perfect thing. So trust yourself in these days. Allow yourself to find your pathway, to see into your own heart chakra that's being so activated. Know that this is who you are, this is how you stand. No matter who you are, no matter what your astrology is, we're all in the same place together. Whoops. So here we go. Coming into the full moon. Those of you who've been following along know this card pretty well. It's been coming out a lot. This is about a journey into the other side. The veil is thin on this full moon. My guides are saying, allow yourself to go in. You're going to meet someone. You are going to have some sacred assistance. This young man went across to the other side. He had a vision about something horrible happening. And I guess I'm just going to speak to it for a moment. What's happening on the political scene across the world is bringing this type of a feeling to many of us. What he did with that concern, we see his place of residence, his home, the fort he lived in. He saw a vision about that burning to the ground. And that's what a lot of us are perseverating on. And what he did when he stepped in to have his journey, by accident, he was pulled across because the veil was so thin. This is about Halloween in some respect. It's about touching death. And right away, a mystical fairy came to meet him. And they had a journey together on the other side. And he traveled back and forth to this place. He was able to sound a warning. And eventually he traveled back into the land of the fairies. If I remember correctly, I think he married the fairy. And he lived there with her forever. But his job was done. He had done what was meant for him. So, and then he was able, my guides were saying, and then he was allowed to live in the mystical realm and do his work from there. So, pardon me, I gotta have a little sip of coffee. So there's a lot of quiet this morning. I can hear the crickets a little bit, but it's very still here. And this is the energy I think that we're working with on this day. And as we come into this full moon, understand that this is our mission. And you see how these two are joined? And there's that beautiful woman. There's a shamanic journey happening, being given from within what is stored within each of us, our own Akashic records, if you want to use that word. I never quite know what to say about those things, but my guides always say, you understand the inference. So this is where we're walking. This is how we're walking. This is the purpose. It is a quest to come more deeply. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Spirit. Oh my gosh. So dense sometimes. To go deeply into the records that are stored, to retrieve them now, travel forward, allow them to help you understand the magic of these moments, what the intention is, why it's magic. All the things that all of us that are on a spiritual path are trying to understand. This is the magic. It's within you, and my guide said it yesterday. So they've been talking a lot about the sages that have come forward over human time. The time lapse span is what they're saying. So there's magic encoded within us. It's time to really trust it. And especially in these days of the eclipse, just go on the journey. Have it for yourself. If it is offered to you, say yes. That's what unlocks the magic. Okay? To go into this journey of sacred vision and to go across to the other side, so that something can be revealed to you. So here's what's being revealed. I love this. And, the fact that this beautiful young man is here, and here's the sacred goddess of sovereignty who is here to help us remove illusions from our vision. So that's the inception point. Obviously, we're talking about the new moon eclipse. And there she sits, stunning in her beauty, stunning in the illusion, mesmerizing, literally. And you see how she's got her hand on the water element. I've said it a lot, my guides are saying, but we're going to say it again. The illusion of love, the illusion about what we think about it, what we seek. What is it we're seeking when it comes to love? Are we seeking to pull ourselves and each other forward into a sacred journey? Or are we seeking to get something from another person, to require them to be our happiness? I'm telling you, it's over. We're still, many of us, don't worry, many of us are going to have love relationships. The way in which we love is changing. And it is time to pull these records out of ourselves to be able to have this sacred journey expressly in order to prevent a disaster from coming forward, because we're heading into some rough waters, aren't we? It's going to be okay because we're doing the work. So it is the challenge that we're heading into that causes us to finally pay attention, I think. When you get a moment that causes you to begin to really see what the collective consciousness, like we're having now, my guides are saying, now we're really seeing it. Like, what have we created out of the collective mind? How in heaven's name did this happen? And I think that's what the freak out is about. So don't point your anger, please, or your energy. Don't let it get tied up with the politicians and the things that are happening. It is destiny, right? Just look to the astrology. The moment has come. It was meant for us to experience. My guides are calling it crazy town. The crazy town things that have come forward, because we're going to come into the knowledge that literally we did create it. That's part of, okay, now my guys are talking about 12-step programs, things like that. It's that moment when you realize, oh my gosh, ooh, yeah, I am making these choices. It's coming from within me. And look what my choices have created in my life. Do I want to continue to choose them? Or do I want to create a new pathway for myself and throw off the illusions and the delusions with which I've been operating? All right, so my guides are reminding me. They want me to read that to you. So the beautiful goddess Coventina. I want to pull the card all the way out for you. So it's interesting. It's the combat of skill, fire, passion, 5 of Wands. Perfect. Inside of ourselves, this is where we battle. It's always what's true. So a combat of skill. It's about this argument, right, that we're having with ourselves. The rivalries that we see around us, disagreements, conflict, disruption, competitiveness. It is about obstacles to be overcome. See? So trust that the energy is lining up perfectly in these days. All right, so it's a story about a king who had sons. They were each meant to be tested to see who would succeed him. They were sent out into the forest to discover their journey, basically. As the sun went down, they discovered they had no water. Each went out to gather water. And they found that the only water source, each one of them came into contact with this woman, and the only source of water was guarded by her, the sacred hag, the sacred feminine, the dark goddess. So they had to approach the sacred hag and understand her realm, my guides are saying. And she's the goddess of sovereignty. That's why things look all foobar. I guess the upswing, the uptick, my guides are saying, is that it is the illusion that we're seeing of what we've created, what's rising on the earth now, in terms of the entrenchment of the authoritarian way of being, types of government, etc. It is time to understand that we have to actually approach this, touch it, be with it, touch death, touch the illusion with our love energy in order to see what is underneath. So, in the fairy tale that comes with the story, the one young man who was willing to provide love energy to give her a kiss as the cost of having access to the water was able to see through the illusion and see that, in a sense, in the story, what happens is this is his sacred mate, and he is able to see the power of the sacred feminine in his life and turn the situation around. They eventually get married. It's a fairy tale, and it's because of his sacred vision, actually, that he was able to have and develop. That young man became the King of Cups, a ruler that rules from the heart, that has sacred vision. So what my guides are saying, and we're talking about all of you, like that, this finger wagging kind of thing. So they just want you to know with clarity, it is going to be challenging. Delve into the dark side of the moon, delve into the void. Know that you're standing in this place, and you are collecting from what is stored within you. Understand that that's where we're going. And my guides are talking about for the next 2 years. When you feel troubled, come back to this notion. Store it within you. Store the knowledge within you so that you really trust. Put it in a safe place in your heart. And carry this notion. That is the way we manifest with thought, in part. So that's a beautiful story about the human adventure. And this roll of cards has to do with what's the soul intention. And if you just look into the cards, there's almost nothing I need to say about it. It's completely clear, my guides are saying. So, while we have these adventures that we're going through in these days, we're going to have tower moments. We are going to have some challenge. We're going to have to let things go. And people talk about the Five of Cups, that we're not focusing on what is still present. We may have had some losses. Some tower moments may have come. And indeed, they're going to. It's just what's meant to happen. In these moments, what my guides are saying is, it is incumbent upon us to understand our losses and what caused them, what they're for. Sometimes things fall away. My guides are talking about under heaven a time, time. Times are turning. It is time to allow things to fall away. That which we cling to. Sometimes it's our belief system. And, when I look at this card, what I love about it is, let me hold it up to the camera. So, here we are standing in our place. Come on, light. It's early in the morning, so the light's not coming through yet. So, we are standing in our place. And all of a sudden a shock happens. And we're just dumbfounded. We just stand there and look at it and go, what just happened? Like what? It's that moment, my guides are saying. So we're going to come to these moments, I think, as we go through the next 2 years. My guides keep saying 2 years. And when you come to these moments, it is important to look at what's occurring and to bring yourself to an understanding so that whatever's meant to fall away can fall. But you have with you your own internal stored energy. They're talking about squirrel. And the love and the energy that comes from the spiritual realm into your life. And you see at the bottom on the right, you see there's a bridge in the distance? There's a river, and there's another place. And look at the activation of this person. Look at the aura. While you travel, in some ways, it's mysterious. Some of us, many of us, okay, my guides are saying all of us travel through these days, and we are in some way secret journeyers. We're meant to be cloaked. So it's not about focusing on what was lost. It's about understanding what was lost and why. And eventually, through your own processing, you're going to come to a moment where you take a deep breath and you wipe away your tears and you say, well, okay. And you pick up those 2 cups and you travel out and you walk across the bridge to the next place that you're meant to be. Getting all choked up. So that's what the Tower moments that are coming forward are for. We're all journeying in the prophecy of our own lives into the place where we're meant to be. And it's on a spiritual level, it's about balance. Absolutely. And I love this because we see the beautiful intention of the male, sacred, the majestic, the magician, the intention, the internal intention, and our will, out of which comes our sacred vision, the ability to have this travel and throw off the illusions and come into the love energy that we are awash in, no matter what, because we have Cancer in the North Node. That is the beautiful goddess, Elena. She stands in the universe, balancing. It's a major arcana card. Beautiful. The sacred balancer. And do you see how she's been split open along the central meridian and resewn? Totally transformed. Able literally now to stand in the universe with all the energy that is swirling. My guides are saying it's like being on a roller coaster and you throw your arms up, which personally I've never been brave enough to do. Can't even imagine. I always have this feeling that I'm going to get sucked right out of my seat, so I don't ever do it. But my guides are saying that's how it's going to be coming forward as we go into this moment when, a lot of big bang, a lot of shift, a lot of things falling away, tower moments in order to bring forward our destiny. So don't fear the tower. It's doing its job. It's loving us into eternity, my guides are saying. So along comes this beautiful goddess. Her job was to help seafarers find their way. So trust that we have this sacred accompaniment while our illusions fall away, while we have the coming forward of this mystical travel and journey from within us. This is on the again, on the human realm. This is our intention. This is our will. This is what we're literally creating in order to come into the truth of our vision and what we understand about the presence and the use of love energy initiated by this eclipse. Quite seriously, my guys are saying, quite seriously, allow yourself to understand. And that you have sacred assistance. We are going to come into the full light of the sun, but we're all going to be transformed. Yesterday, my guides were talking about the ancients, and that's what this is about. That's the sun card, obviously. In Soul Tarot, it's the protector of sacred lore. That's who we are. That's what we're doing. And the way to protect the sacred lore is to allow the internal journey to come. Be on your quest. Allow yourself to unlock the Akashic records that you hold within you. It is affecting, okay, my guides are talking about the tapestry, so I'm going to put that aside for a minute. If you're new, go watch a couple of okay, my guides are saying watch a couple of the live streams. There's a playlist on my channel. You'll understand. Oh, boy. We're coming through, and when we reemerge, that came out in yesterday's reading, we re-emerge marked, tattooed, imbued, invested in the sacred energy, in the destiny that's coming forward. And we transform. Because we all come forward in such a way that when we emerge through, I think, out of this full moon, out of the month of July, my guides are saying, again, there's somebody mystical that's going to be there to meet you. In part, Okay, my guides always say this to me. These two are sacred mates, energetically. They have the same intention, but they use very different types of energy and power. And, in a sense, the sacred void, the sacred feminine. We saw that yesterday in the reading. There's a reflection of it here. And, yesterday I was still so cross, I was having trouble talking. And I realized when I woke up this morning, you might want to go check that reading out. The outcome card is actually the death card. In Soul Tarot, it's called the liberation of your devotion. And the Tower came out as well. So many of us are liberating ourselves from things that don't serve us. Oops, pardon me. And we are in these moments. So this shamanic journey with the male and female energy clearly continues because we are meant to go on these quests. And it's totally understandable that as you shift and change, there are things that fall away. And those things may well have been extraordinarily precious and needed in your life, even as you realize, okay, that's gone. That's gone. That's a shock that this is going away. It's not what I anticipated. But in the moment, it's what is happening. And I'm meant to love it. Eventually, we get perspective with hindsight, most of us, including me. So we're going to be continued to be led into this soul journey. As we go forward into 2020 and through 2020, my guides are saying, understand. So if you take a look, always at the diagonal in my readings, understand what is happening and how this reading is encapsulated into itself. My guides want me to move this. It is a quest. It is a shamanic journey. That's what this lifetime, I think that's part of what my guides are saying. Gosh, if we incarnated and we're here in these days to experience this, it is intensely a shamanic journey. And my guides are saying, like the people who've lived through other epochs, they're using the word epochs, when these kinds of things have happened. I mean, think about it. Over time, the intense moments that we have as we struggle to come forward and to create mystical vision and to have these journeys into death. Like, what are we creating? And each time it happens, we move forward. Something shifts and changes. So my guides are talking about the Two of Wands, that moment when you stand and you look forward and you begin to imagine what could be possible. You begin to take action. In these days, given this reading, my guides are talking about, and this card actually in Soul Tarot, the dialogue of skill, it is about a sacred dialogue that we have with the ancient ones. Absolutely. Bringing us forward to help us reintegrate ourselves and to come through our transformation, all the things that we experience in a lifetime. Okay, they want me to hold this up. That's what this is about. Literally in the story, it's about Merlin, and a wisdom holder was a friend of his that came to him in a moment when he was in need to help him reintegrate with himself. So that's what we have available to us as we sail into, magnetically pulled into the beautiful energy of the full moon that's coming. Magic vessel, get in the vessel. My guides are saying, get in and ride. Get in the boat. This is the imaginer of harmony. Things are being revealed. Clearly, when you look at this reading, things are being revealed to you. That which is inside of us, you as an individual, and all of us, we, my guides are saying, we as a collective. So allow yourself to go dive deep or get in the vessel. Put your hands on the oars. Imagine harmony and sail away to that place within yourself, because the records of that, the Akashic records for that, are being revealed. They are stored within each of us. Beautiful. And, how beautiful is that? The cosmic butterfly. That's your true identity. That's what's happening. And I love that we see fire energy emerging, the light of the sun in this way. So, as you saw, 3 cards fell out. I picked up the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck and 3 cards came out. So I just want to end the reading with them. Actually, no, my guides are saying pull a rune. All right, so there we are. Oh, it's giving me a chill. That's what's emerging. We are here. My guides just keep saying, we are here. All right, so trust that. There's the blade. It's time to cut through the BS. No more BS allowed on an internal basis. Stop struggling against which is meant to come forward for each of us. Take the blade, cut away that which does not serve you as we seek to throw off the illusions and come into balance, come into our sacred destiny in all these ways. It's time to really sort of use your powers of discernment in a sense to free yourself. My guides are, okay, there's a picture playing in my mind. When I had my first real initiation ceremony, one of the things that happened, and I kind of love that I see it in these cards, my friends came. My guides are calling it a cadre. A cadre of goddesses came. And I was very seriously going through some intention in my own life. And we painted my entire body blue. And I walked out into a field and I was tied, bound. And it took me a couple of hours, but I was meant to get out of that which bound me so that I could have my journey. So that's what my guides are talking about. It's time to cut the ropes. It's time to cut yourself free. It's time for you to let go of the things that do not serve you, to honor them and love them because they had a sacred purpose. And then when you're done processing that, take your cups and walk out over the bridge. My guides just said, into your life, right? That's how, one of the ways we transform. Beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. All right. Need I say anything about this? Do you see the full moon? Do you see the cycles of the moon? That sacred place. Okay, my guides are talking about Shambhala. Okay, they're talking about the notions that comes out of the sacred Buddhist tradition of this mystical place that exists. And it is here on the earth, but no one can find it unless you are willing to take up your sacred journey. Okay, thank you, Spirit. That's what I understand now. Okay, so I'm not sure if I can. Yeah, I guess they'll show. So that is what is going to be revealed to us. Those kind of sacred places, they are within us. Whatever we see here on the earth is certainly just a reflection of us. So it's time to start walking to Sacred Mountain. You know, use the blade in your own life to lovingly free yourself from that which does not serve you. And mostly we're talking about within you, okay? So I'm going to pick from the bag of runes. Thank you so much for being patient enough to be here and to collect these messages. And, oh gosh, all right, I'm just coming into my own ability to talk about this because of some of the experiences I've had. And I've been afraid to talk about it because it just feels, I fear that it sounds arrogant and that I will be judged negatively. So, time for me to cut that away. You know, if you're here collecting these messages, understand that this is your story, that you're brave enough and patient enough and strong enough to be on your quest. That's why I'm here, just to talk to you about the quest. That's my job. And to offer people a little place to come to have their quest, to go through a journey like this within yourself in a very sacred place, as the shaman. My guide said, I'm the lady who meets you when you do this. The little fairy. And indeed I am. Irish and Scottish heritage. So understand that it's real. My guides want to just thank you and acknowledge you in the very deepest way possible. That's why they wanted this setup. They wanted the crow medicine here with you today. Because we're dealing with the laws of the universe. The sacred texts are covered in crow feathers. And, all right, my guides want me to tell a story now. I'm going to try to be brief. And it has to do with this, along my journey as things were developing. And I had crows following me around literally sometimes for miles. And the shaman came forward and all kinds of mystical things happened when I made my commitment to take my journey, the next phase of my journey. Okay, I don't know if you can hear it, but the crickets now have stopped. It's getting really quiet. So this is what my guides are talking about. It's going into the deep. So there came a day after I had my surprise shaman show up in my own life, journey happened here on this property. I was just trying to figure out, where am I going to get the money to do this? I don't have any money. The stuff you think about. And finally I thought, all right, I got to stop thinking about that because something is trying to come forward. So how about if I just allow it and believe that I don't have to know. I just have to say yes. And so I started sort of this ritual daily mantra of, okay, yeah, okay, yep, yeah. I totally don't understand, but I believe it. So show me the next piece. What is it that's coming forward? And I was driving down the road in the days just after I had the visit from the shaman here in this property. And I watched a crow get hit by a car. It was on the side of the road eating something. And it got hit by a car and it killed it. And I circled around and went home. I got a shovel. I went back and picked it up. And that's how I got my crow mask, because I knew something came from within me that was stored within me in those days. I'm experiencing it again. More illusions are falling away. I am definitely feeling the power of the cosmic butterfly. So my guides are saying, understand these things come when they're meant to come, because you are meant to reintegrate with yourself. All right. We are going forward into our destiny. If you see birds, or if you connect with the bird energy, it's interesting because it's here. Crows have been here off and on. They were here yesterday, not quite in the meadow like they have been, but just outside the ring of my property. And they were doing the same thing. They were just vocalizing in a way that was really intense. And, I was feeling myself pull across. So asking my guides to please give us a message about this. You may feel your third eye opening. You may feel some energy at your head as your Kundalini moves, because I think it's going to move for most of us. Because you've made a commitment, whoever you are. So thank you so much for being here. I really love and appreciate you. Look at that. I love it. Thank you, Spirit, so much. Where would I like to put this? I'm going to put it here with the Magician. The intention to bring forward what is meant to come. That's about harvesting. Something that occurs after a long period. And, in this book by Ralph Blum, he talks about the harvest and the time that it takes to get to the harvest. And I actually just had a rune reading, and this came out. And it's really true. Okay, I see what my guides wanted me to talk about. I didn't quite get there, but I think I've been prattling on for a long time. Let me get through this, and then I'll look at the clock, and we'll see if we want to save that for tomorrow. Maybe I will. Okay. Oops. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so this is associated with the birch tree. It's a story about rebirth. Clearly, the rebirth of our soul tribe. My guides have been talking about that a lot. So this is one of the cycle runes leading us toward initiation. It's known as Berkana, and it represents a form of fertility that lies within you. You are bringing forward your own destiny, and you, as an energy signature, when you bring your own destiny, it affects everyone around you, doesn't it? Just got a message yesterday from somebody who was talking about how now they're standing in their truth with their wisdom, and how hard it is for the people around them to shift and change with them. That's the nature of the dual process that's going on, my guides are saying. So this represents a form of fertility that fosters growth symbolically and literally. The growth may occur in affairs of the world. I'm getting all choked up. Yeah, my guys, they're just really talking with us about our sacred destiny, and I wish you could see it. My front door is open, and it's mating season, I think, for the butterfly people, and there are two butterflies, and they're just circling around each other, spiraling. It's fascinating. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so affairs of the world, also family matters, and most especially the relationship of the self to the self and the divine. This is a rune that leads to blossoming and ripening. It is concerned with the flow of beings into their new forms. Its action is gentle, penetrating, and pervasive. And certainly we see it in the cards. What is called for here is to consider your issue with care and awareness. First, you must disperse resistance and then accomplish the work. For this to happen, your will must be clear and controlled, and your motives must be correct. Any dark corners, to see why these are related, any dark corners must be cleansed, and this must be carried out diligently and sometimes with expert help. It is a time for modesty, for patience, fairness, and generosity are all called for here in these moments, so this transformation can come forward. Once resistance is dispersed within you and rectification is carried out and seen to hold firm, then through steadfastness and right attitude, blossoming can occur. Thank you, Spirit. Love the way this is coming out. And that's it. So it's a long road. It's a long term of coming into being. And as we go forward, let's see if I can, let me just take a look. Yeah, my gosh. It looks like I've been talking for an hour. Okay, that's enough. So tomorrow, I think I'm going to talk a little bit about my own journey and how it came forward. But it's very much, this is the picture. In a sense, it's a picture of our story, everyone's story. Understand this is how it works. My guides are saying this is the way it goes forward. So I think I'm going to stop there. There's a lot coming through. I'll look forward to being with you tomorrow. My guides are saying, listen to the heartbeat of the earth now in these days. Allow yourself to stand in the full light of the sun, meaning the knowledge of literally where we're standing and what we're doing and why. And bring your intention forward in all the ways that my guide spoke about. So I'm sending you all my love. I'm really with you energetically in these days. I'm feeling you, all you beautiful humans. So again, truly, I offer you my thanks for being willing to be here, to be present in yourself in these days for this journey. Have a wonderful day today. I'll look forward to, my guy said, I'll look forward to whispering in your ear again tomorrow. Thanks, gang. Have a lovely day. Allow yourself to just be in the mystery, be in the quiet. Thanks a lot.